I trained with Delta several times, and one of the things, and the American Airborne as well. And one of the things that, we have a common language which divides us because the American attitude, military attitude, is completely different. They don't relate very well to our sense of humor, to our irony, our cynicism, especially in terms of jingoism. You know, I mean, Americans, oh yeah, we got, the most enthusiastic guys in the world, and also, the most rigid when it comes to a job to do. They get the job done. Don't get me wrong, but they're different from us, and they often struggle to cope with our flippancy and sense of humor. And I'll give you one good example. We went to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, in the 80s, and to do cross training in counterterrorism. And the American guys in Delta were so focused on being absolutely serious about everything all the time that it started to wind us up a little bit, and they started to follow us and put surveillance on us when we went out, and we noticed it, and we pulled them over for a drink and said, "Look, we trained you for crying out loud. Do you think you can follow us?" And we started to get annoyed, so um, we started playing up and doing the assaults with water pistols instead of us, our blank submachine guns. And so you're going into an aircraft and going through an aircraft door, and there's Americans in there playing hostages and terrorists, and you're shooting them with a water pistol. And now they were these crazy Brits. And what are they up to? They're not taking the world seriously. This is a serious job. We should be doing this. We should be doing that. And finally, we had a final exercise, by which time they had grown quite, their opinion of us had diminished somewhat. They thought we were stupid. They thought we were incompetent. They thought we weren't very good at our job. And they had a 10-man bus. And the Americans, it was their turn to play the terrorists and the hostages. So there was 8 hostages on the bus and some pretend terrorists. They drove down the road, and we blew the front wheels off the vehicle. We blew the front wheels off the vehicle. The front two wheels, as it was going slowly round a bend, the 2 front wheels came off. The front of the vehicle hit the floor. We got the hostages out within 6 seconds, and they were like, "How the hell can you do this? You screw around, you make jokes out of everything, and then when the time comes, you do this." And it's just a bit bewildering for them because you've either got to sit around being Rambo and sharpening a knife and staring at everybody, which is what the movies like to portray, or you're an idiot. And we were idiots, but we were good enough to be idiots when we had nothing to do, and then we could switch it on. And we did that at the Iranian Embassy as well. We spent all week watching the bloody snooker on television, and playing silly jokes on one another. One guy drilled a hole in somebody else's tea mug, and so when he walked away from the tea urn, there was a trail of tea behind him. Somebody nailed somebody's trainers to the floor. Silly bored soldiers, silly jokes. But when it came to the moment, bang, we had the kit on and we did the job. So that's a very British thing. That's a very British military thing.